Hello everyone. Do you want to be an absolute nightmare for the earwigs? And do you want to have some AoE crowd control that can weaken the defenses of your enemies? Well, in this video, I got you covered. And before we begin, 99.3% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you haven't, please make sure to subscribe, as if you subscribe, I will personally go to your world and eradicate every single earwig for you. And let's get into the video. Alright everyone, starting off with the build, it is going to be the Sour Katanga for our weapon, and the Sour Katanga has a special effect called Final Parry, and what Final Parry does is after landing the third hit in a 3-hit combo, it will increase your perfect block window by 15 milliseconds for 10 whole seconds, and after you get a parry, your next attack will deal 25% more damage. And moving on to our armor, it is going to be the full rusty armor set, and the reason why we are doing the full rusty armor set is for one big reason. It is because it synergizes obviously really well with each other, and the full set bonus is broken, but we will get to that shortly. Starting off with the Rusty Circlet. The Rusty Circlet is going to allow us to deal a huge amount of sour damage with Tangy Eruption. And what Tangy Eruption does is perfect blocks have a 35% chance to activate and release a Tangy Goo AoE effect that deals 25 sour damage. And this pairs really well with the chest piece and leggings, as the chest piece and leggings have Sour Manacy. And what Sour Manacy does is it gives you a 10% boost for each piece for 5 whole seconds after Tangy Eruption occurs. And I went down the sleek route for Tang reduction. You don't have to, it is entirely up to you. It is just what I preferred. But going to the full set bonus, the full set bonus is called Potluck. And what Potluck does is when your enemies are fully puckered, it will increase your crit hit damage by 20%. That is extremely good, and especially when it's paired up with the trinket of the build, which is the Fabulous Femur Trinket. And the Fabulous Femur Trinket, it has a 7% chance to increase our crit hit chance by 20%. And moving on to our mutations, starting off, we are going to have Ambush. And the reason why I'm doing Ambush is just because we can get a little bit of extra damage if we decide to attack a creature when they're unaware of us. Natural Explorer, just so we can run around quicker. And we also are going to use Trapper Peeper for this build. If you don't have Trapper Peeper, then I would honestly recommend doing Mithridatism just so you can have a little bit of venom resistance. But Trapper Peeper is going to help so much, especially with Potluck as our full set bonus. And finally, Cardio Fan, just so we can get our stamina back quicker. And overall, you're going to be an absolute ultimate Sour Menace throughout the park. And enough of me yapping, let's get into the fights of today's video. Alright everyone, so for the first fight of today's video, it is going to be against some Org Earwigs. And the reason why I decided to choose the Earwigs was because their weakness is to Sour. And I know a lot of you have been having problems with the Earwigs with their unblockable or unparryable 3-hit combo attack. So let's obliterate them. And as you can see, we just hid almost half of this Earwig's health. And just like that, the first Earwig is dead. The first Org Pincher Earwig is dead. Easy as that. And unfortunately, we did get hit on the second, or the Whipper Earwig, because it did the unparryable 3-hit combo. But it's not going to matter when we are just absolutely shredding both of them. Easy as that. That whole sequence took like 30 seconds at most. And because of that, I am going to now fight a Org Cricket, which is actually neutral to Sour and also neutral to slashing as well. And as you can see, we are doing so much damage to this org cricket right now. This org cricket is getting absolutely obliterated. And I'm kind of in a bad position right here. I'm in between some pumpkin roots, and I'm gonna hope that this org cricket gets into a better spot and decides not to spam block over and over again. But as you can see, the org cricket is stunned, and just like that, it is dead. Easy as that. And with that, let's get on with the next fight of this video. And for the next fight of this video, I want to see how well this build would work against a rust beetle, as rust beetles are resistant to sour, but they are weak to slashing. So our sword is going to be resistant, yet it's going to be its weakness as well. And as you can see here, we are doing okay damage. It's not the greatest damage in the world, but also we did stun the rust beetle just now. And as you can see, this is the damage on it is not the greatest so far. I was hoping it was going to be better, but overall it's not as overpowered as I thought it would be. But it doesn't matter because we have taken out the rust beetle as easy as that. Just for the sake of it, I'm also going to take out this other rust beetle. And because we actually have the Tang resistant armor, we can actually tank all of these rust beetle attacks. And that did barely any damage to us when the rust beetle just absolutely blasted us. And as you can see, we actually got our Tangy eruption to proc. And sooner or later, on these final hits, we have finally taken out the last rust beetle. But anyways, let's get on with the last and final fight of this video. All right, everyone. And for our last fight of today's video, it is going to be good ol' Axel. And the reason why I wanted it to be Axel was because Axel, he's actually neutral to sour and slashing damage. And also, with the amount of times Axel attacks in his later stages, I would love to see how often we can make the Tangy eruption effect proc. Because if we can get it to proc a bunch during this fight, then this will be sweet. But unfortunately, during that first combo, it doesn't proc there. But we are able to transition to Axel's second phase because of it. And now all we need to do is just sit and wait until Axel's done with his little temper tantrum and he transitions to his second phase. And now that Axel is actually in his second phase, I'm just going to try to deal as much Tang damage to him as possible, and obviously try to get Tangy eruption to proc, which from what I'm getting at right now, I don't think you can actually proc Tangy eruption on Axel. I think Axel might have actually bugged out this armor set to where you physically cannot proc Tangy eruption, or it's just invisible to me. I don't know, but we do manage to stun Axel here, and I'm going to see if I can try to transition him to his third phase. And as you can see, because of Blade Master, we just absolutely annihilated him, and we are flying across the entire arena right now. Holy. And I'm just going to dodge his little Pine Needle attack. And with that, that is almost his second phase. And just like that, his second phase is done, and we are now transitioning to his third phase. And I do want to see how well this build's crowd control is, because with Tangy eruption, it looks to be okay, but let's just see during this fight, and Axel's going to absolutely nuke that cockroach over there. And hopefully we can get something to proc Tangy eruption, and just like that, we already did. And as you can see, Tangy eruption is just obliterating everything right now. Unfortunately, we are fully envenomated right now, but that literally doesn't matter when we are killing literally everything in like 1 to 2 swings. And just like that, we have killed everything here. And just like that, we have killed everything here. And I'm going to heal up a little bit while we wait for our good old pal Axel to emerge, which I don't think he's actually not going to emerge because of this little caterpillar over here. But Axel, he's going to bait me out. Screw you, Axel. That's not kind. Anyway, sorry about that. Axel's AI was kind of screwing up there. But now that he's in his 3rd phase, we can finally try to finish him off. And yeah, it does look like Axel, he cannot proc Tangy Eruption for some odd reason. Or unless, like I said earlier, it could just be invisible and Axel's the arena is bugged, but also that doesn't explain, or Axel could have just made it invisible, but I honestly got no clue. And just like that, Axel is stunned, and this is going to be the end of the fight, and we have successfully killed Axel. But that is going to be all for today's video. If you all enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe, as it will help me out a ton. And better yet, comment down below which boss would you like to see in Grounded 2 next. And until next time, peace.